Hi, this is Kara. Welcome to my video. Today we're gonna talk about 5 tips to help you create original paintings from a picture. Before we get started, I would encourage you to imagine what are the things you have in mind that you want to paint. Because that influences which picture you will be choosing as a reference. So for me, I wanted to paint something like my trip to home. I do a lot of long commute weekly, but I'm very exciting on my trip home because that's how I can see my family and have a wonderful weekend together. Therefore, I'm using this picture I took while I was on the shuttle back home. But this picture is nice but not ideal for my painting because I think it doesn't stimulate any emotions, any story that I want to tell. Alright, so let's start transforming it. Tip 1. Adjust your vantage point. So what is a vantage point? Vantage point is a viewpoint. So here the picture is taken from the shuttle, so it's a viewpoint from the shuttle, which is not exactly what I want. So I would like to adjust that a little bit. So one thing for people to improve their painting is to understand the perspective better. And perspective is very tied to this vantage point, where basically, so starting from your vantage point, you would see things further to be smaller and closer to be larger, and there's some distortion of the objects you actually see. So here I want to tilt the road a little bit so that I'm viewing from upper level in some sense. I'm facing down a little bit to see the road, and the road is kind of going upward instead of like very flat in reality. So this gives some 3D illusions, which is more vividly depicting a road that's going forward. Know that once you change your vantage point, all the objects need to change together. They need to be merged together in a more consistent way. So here I'm modifying the car's shape as well. So the cars now becomes just like brakes because you're basically seeing from a higher position. So the cars will be having more towards the dimension. Now it brings us to tip 2. Remove things you don't like or simply don't know how to draw. As a non-professional artist, I don't know how to draw all the things. But that doesn't really stop me from using pictures as a reference because I can simply remove those things in my paintings as if they don't exist. So for example, here I don't like the ocean part. It sounds like it's very hard to draw water, and also those poles, they're kind of ugly to me. I don't want them. I also don't like the stuff here. And also here, the water again. I don't know how to draw water very nicely. Once we remove a lot of things, tip 3 now becomes very natural. We won't leave the picture so blanked out, and we still want to add stuff. And what we need to add is either things we really like or really fits into the theme of the things we're drawing, or simply things we know how to draw better. As example, I really like to draw a building here because that's the thing I know how to draw, and it's also very common besides the road, so it's not really something that's weird to put into the picture. I also would like to add more trees, and I like trees. I know how to draw trees, so add a lot of them. That can also hide some of the details of the road that I don't really like to draw. Also, mountains. So we have mountains in the picture, but they're kind of too far away, and once we raise the road a little bit, they kind of disappear. So I would like to add taller mountains, and they are kind of closer to the road. And of course, along the mountains, there could be road, there could be trees, there could be just a lot of more details there. I just want to add more round-shaped trees along the hills. I think they're very, very, very cute, and they're very common in the US by the highway in California, actually. Oh, right. I would like to add some highway sign. I think that's really important because that's like very vividly depicting what I'm heading for. So I think that's really nice, and I can even add my signature carrot there as well. One thing I noticed about the US is that it has so much less lampposts compared to China. So I want to add those lampposts in the picture because this is a trip home, so I want it to be bright and never in the dark. What else can I add? Oh, birds, seabirds, seagulls. They're all over the place in California, so I definitely want to add those. Alright, that's the end of the sketch plan, and now we need to get to work and we need to transform the plan into a real drawing on a paper. Today I'm using a different watercolor paper. This is a Canson watercolor paper. So this is less high-end as the watercolor paper I used previously. I think I do feel the difference, but I think it's still a good watercolor paper, especially for students and people who cannot afford very expensive ones. Once we finish the sketch, now let's get back to tip 4, which is forget about the colors. So now that we have finished the sketch, we can sort of put the picture aside a little bit because now it's our creation and the color will actually change the mood when people are looking at the picture. So it's important to use our own idea, and that's how your painting becomes really original because the color is what you added to the picture. And so are the emotions. For people watching my video for the first time, this is Kara. I'm not a professional artist, but I like drawing and painting a lot. So I'm doing these videos to show you how you can improve your technique and enjoy painting and drawing without going through professional trainings. Of course, after you forget about the colors of the original picture, now we need to consider how to come up with the colors you want to use for the pictures you're painting. So for my picture, I'm depicting a trip home, which I want it to be bright and happy, so I want to use brighter colors. So I forget about the real color from the car, which was kind of a grayish and black or white. I want to make it more like vibrant. So we can have red and yellow and blue and anything. You can notice that I even changed the car themselves. I added a boat basically. So this is like leisure time, going home and have fun. So I don't want to be too serious about the things I'm drawing. That's the end of today's 5 tips to transform pictures into nice drawings that is kind of original. I think these tips are really helpful in help you enjoy painting and create original drawings. But there's something I want to stress is that if your goal is to improving your drawing skills, then there's still a lot of basics that we need to focus on, like understanding perspective and improving our ability to control the colors and use colors to express emotions and stuff. And those things never gonna be there's no shortcut for that, and we still need to improve a lot on that in order to improve the technique. I will kind of stop talking now and hope you enjoy the rest of the time lapse for the painting process. I didn't talk much during the drawing process because it's sort of similar to my previous videos, but if you do have questions, feel free to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Carry us here for future videos. Happy drawing!